This bill was introduced by a state assemblyman, and it would essentially require that public colleges and universities provide abortion medication to students through on-campus health centers. How does the state plan to fund access to the abortion pill, and when could this bill go into effect if it passes?
This bill has just been filed in New York, so we expect it to start making its way through committees and go up for a vote in the new year. So this is something that's we're going to be looking for in 2020. In the state of California, where we were able to fight this bill, we actually fought it for about 3 years. It took about 3 years for it to get passed through the state legislature, and really, that wasn't because the state legislature in California leans pro-life. It's in fact they're very pro-abortion, but it was the cost issue that deterred a lot of representatives from voting for this bill, and the potential legal liability that they're placing on the university health systems. And so I anticipate this is going to be a similar way in California. There was a private foundation of donors who said that they would cover the cost of implementing these campus abortion centers in every state university. And then after 4 years, after the initial funding, it would go and be funded through taxpayers, through student fees, which poses a huge issue when you look at the conscience rights of the students on campuses. Now, when they're paying their student fees and their registration, they're also going to be paying now towards this abortion center that's going to be in their campus health facilities. What we're talking about with these abortion pills are very dangerous chemicals, because we know girls who obtain these chemical abortions, they face a really high risk for having to go back and having repeat surgery, having a second abortion. It's actually as high as 1 in 20 women who consume these pills will end up needing surgery after, which is really scary considering these campus health centers are not equipped to deal with these problems like hemorrhaging and incomplete abortions.
And you pointed out how there are dangerous risks to the chemical abortions that could put students at risk of health complications. How often does this happen?
This happens a lot. So chemical abortions are 4 times as risky as standard surgical abortions or suction abortions or dismemberment abortions. So we know all abortions end the life of a preborn human person, but these chemical abortions are actually more dangerous for her to consume. So there's complications like hemorrhaging, infection, ruptured ectopic pregnancy, incomplete abortion. What's really scary is, before a woman is supposed to be handed these pills to, induce an abortion, she's supposed to go through an ultrasound. So that's going to require all the New York State campus health centers to, one, have an ultrasound machine, have someone man that ultrasound machine. And then they're also going to need at least a 24-hour hotline or someplace to go, because what's going to happen is you're going to have women who are bleeding out over their toilet bowls. And that's why we call these toilet bowl abortions, because the abortion industry tells her just sit on the toilet and just keep flushing. Don't look down, just keep flushing. What we know and what's happened since this drug has been legalized in our country is dozens of women have died from hemorrhaging. So heavy bleeding where they can't really determine at home if it's the normal amount of bleeding or it's an abnormal amount of bleeding. And if she's hemorrhaging, she needs a blood transfusion. That's not going to be available at the campus health center. The campus health center is not going to be open at 2 a.m. when she's bleeding out in her dorm room. And so there's a lot of concerns, and it's actually putting the university at a really high risk for liability here as well.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.